Come on up here. You know you want to do it. You know you want to. Come on. Get up here. You know you want. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hey, partner. Yeah, didn't we just do this? Is that what you're saying? Look at your people are out there. That's your people. Yeah, yeah. As usual, he does not care. He doesn't give a rabbit's butt, but I do. Hi, it's Robert Earl out here at the Eco Ranch Sustainable Living Education Center in far west Texas, about 25 miles north of the Mexican border. Saying hi. It's a vlog. It'll probably, it'll be, well, not the last one, but they're going to be a little sparse after this. I thought I'd just jump right in here. I'm going to show you a few things we're doing and things I'm trying to get done. Wanted to tell you that, wanted to show you the footing. I'm sure you saw the video, part one of the footing, or part one of the greenhouse, I guess is what we're going to call it. So even though I've done part one of the greenhouse, I thought I'd just, cover the footing here a little bit, give you a little bit of insight into what I'm going to be doing till the end of the year. You know, buying $200K a second vehicle, I forgot how expensive it was to just have a second vehicle. And between buying new tires for it, and we have to, I'm probably going to have to put all new injectors in it. That I believe I can do myself. Bottom line is we run flat out of money. I'm just about out of Portland, so I can't even do any bottle work. Now would be a great time for anyone to send us a donation for Portland, because I'm flat out, and what's happened is I've run out of money before I ran out of month. At any rate, I'm going to cure that because I'm going to be taking... I've got a work exchange guest coming in a couple of days. He's staying a week, and then after that, I've been asked by a local rancher if I would come and do some masonry repair work on their main house of the ranch. And I'm going to be devoting most of December to that, so I probably won't do any videos. I'll still do the live stream, but I probably won't do any videos because I'll be working there at that ranch house. Much needed cash to help us do some of the things that really need some work done. One of the things that just surprised me, but didn't really surprise me, was the motor, the engine in our DC generator has been acting up, and I figured it was nearing the end of its life. And sure enough, one of the valves broke right off and blew the piston apart. So that I have to replace that engine. That's going to be a priority that I have to get done. And as with your life, everybody's lives, you know, things come up when you really don't expect them to or want them to, and this was one of them. So, let's look at the footing. This is the footing for the greenhouse. Now, I think you can see me, but I'm standing right here where we're going to build that artificial swamp. Probably going to be from the footing wall there all the way to where I've ended the footing over here, and out about, I'd say about 12 feet. A pretty big swamp, and it's a pretty big swamp because, as I always say, it's kind of counterintuitive, but the kangkong, the Chinese water spinach, grows so fast that even though we're in a desert, and even though it takes a lot of water, that's an excellent vegetable to grow and for me to sell. And the ultimate goal was always to use the greenhouse to have vegetables and fruits for Debbie and I, and also to sell to the area. So that's why the swamp is so big. We want to grow lotus. I happen to like lotus. I've eaten lotus in Asia. And the water chestnuts. I want a big space for water chestnuts. So we are on our way here with the greenhouse. I just have to put the footers down and start plotting out how we're going to do the window glass. This wall and this wall are all going to be glass and timber. I'm going to pick up where the footing is ending, and that will be bottles all the way going around, where we're also going to sequester all 500 of the tires that I accumulated before I decided I didn't want to build Earthship style. We're going to sequester them in that back wall there, which will serve two purposes. It'll get rid of the tires forever, and it'll also give us a huge thermal wall that'll moderate the temperature year-round inside the greenhouse. Really excited to get that going. So let me get behind the camera, and I'll show you a little bit more about what we're doing. Like I said, don't expect a lot other than the live stream will definitely continue. It's just I may not be doing much around here through December. I work slow, I work meticulous, and I've got to match somebody else's work, so this is going to be a big project for me. Kind of happy to do it on one hand, and it's kind of a bother because I'd really rather be working here, but we're going to really work once that project is done. So let me get behind the camera. Well, all I've done is moved over a little bit from the footing. There's the footing over there. This is the hole that we dug for the cistern that when my legs started acting up, when the nerve damage to my back became apparent, I was afraid I wouldn't be able to build the cistern, so we started filling it in. Debbie and I have been vacillating on what to do with it. We are, in fact, going to fill the entire hole in. Now, you can see in the back there that piece of 8-inch pipe sticking out, and right down here with a rock in front of it is the other end. That's an air tube that's underground. It's about 100 feet long. We're going to slowly blow air through that during all the daylight hours. Blow it right onto the 3 water tanks. You can only see one. There'll be 2 and 3 there. We'll blow it onto that and try to keep that temperature fairly constant in the tanks, and hopefully that will control or moderate the temperature in the greenhouse. So that's something that's new. The fact that we're filling that hole in completely. It's going to be filled all the way in. And then let's go on. Well, here's the garden. Now, Debbie and I spent most of the day in here yesterday just kind of neatening it up, pulling the tomato plants up. The tomato plants have still got a good month of growth left on them, and we have probably got 200 tomatoes that are going to come out. And look at back there. It's not very big, although it looks big to you, but that's a pink banana squash. It's the only one we've gotten this year off of the plant. They usually, you know, when they're mature, they'll be 6 feet long in ideal conditions. That's a small one for out here. It's not a tiny one. And then we've got this other mystery squash. I will zoom in right there. Just on the other side of the chicken wire is the mystery squash. Tastes great, but we don't know what it is. We are getting tomatillas. This is a, whoops, excuse me guys. These are tomatilla plants in here. And you can see the tiny little tomatillas. They almost look like Chinese lanterns. See them in there? Really cool, and I didn't know how much we really liked them. Now here's something else that's come up that we were really excited about. This right here is a tiny, and it's not going to get much bigger because we've already used one. This is a tiny Carolina Reaper pepper. These are ghost peppers here that have got a couple of peppers on them, but these are Carolina Reapers right here. Look at them all. We chopped up one the other day, and I had to, as I cut it up with my bare hands, I got some of the juice on my finger, and I had to taste it. And I got to tell you, it's just exactly, let me put it on me here. Oh, we're about to run out of battery. It is just exactly what you see in the videos. It's like, okay, it's hot. Yeah, it's hot. And then it's building to, holy cow, I can barely stand it kind of hot. Not an unpleasant heat, though, I'll have to say that. So I'm giving this Carolina Reaper a second look, because fresh like this, we really liked it. Back to microgreen country here. Those are daikons coming up. Got some cabbage here. And we just planted, it is the new moon, so we just planted coriander here. I'm waiting for it to sprout, and then we're going to move it down. I've got daikon radish in this one here. And cabbage in that one there. Just a few cabbage and just a few daikons, just to grow them up as opposed to microgreening them. Here's the story, guys. We saved 5 of these from the book, and yes, I'm still writing the book. It's just, it's taking a back seat because I had a few work exchange guests. Look at that guy right there. Look at the size of that bird right there. 10, I don't think he's even 10 weeks old. He is about 14 pounds. That is just utterly amazing. The book is taking a whole new twist because of that, and so is what we're going to do with the CSA. We are just extremely excited, even though it is a Frankenbird. Very excited about that, and we'll do a separate video on them later. Now let me just move on to a couple other things. And this right here is our sign. We're going to have signs on both trucks and on the tailgate. Just a very simple sign so people know it's the Eco Ranch coming. And a very simple phrase, walk the talk. I think that needs to be our well, whatever the saying you identify us with, which is walk the talk, although the 3 R's are our big mantra. We got that, and that is going to be the logo that goes on the business cards, and if somebody ever offers to help me work on the website, it'll go on the website too. One more thing, and then we're done. Actually, we're getting some names on the work exchange wall too. Effie and Stu just left. I won't go real deep into it, but these two give me a lot of hope for the millennials and for our future. They were wonderful kids, and they are going to go somewhere. And up there, Mr. Chicken Wing, Dan Black, he was just ahead of them. Same thing, great guy. And he doesn't give me hope for the future. He's just an average pinhead, just like all of us have been. But these guys, fantastic. I look for them to do great things later on. And finally, after 6 years, my Duro, D-U-R-O, Duro Max 16 horse motor finally died. It looks like a valve broke loose, fell on the head of the piston, and busted the piston, locked the whole engine up. I can't complain. 6 years, it's been wonderful. And it's a throwaway engine. It can't be repaired. A brand new engine's $289. But until we get that, we'll be plugging 300K into the house on those days when we need a little extra power, which usually is just first thing in the morning for the coffee maker. And one final thing before I run out of battery. Sherman, the one-eyed toothless dog, is scheduled to have surgery to have that tumor taken off of his back, the one that came back, in a few days. The tumor actually isn't doing anything. It looks like we might not do much with him unless the tumor shrunk and went into his leg. And we're not sure of that. What we were sure of was he couldn't walk for a few days, and now he's up, still dragging his one leg a little bit. We're not sure if the tumor got into his leg, which would be, of course, you all know that's going to be the beginning of the end. He won't have more than a few more weeks after that. Or whether, because of my injuries and the shape of my legs, I occasionally get severe leg cramps in the night, and I might have actually kicked him off of the bed and injured his spine or his leg. We're not sure. Can't get to the vet until our appointment because it's that time of year where the vet's busy. So I will know when I do the next thing, and I'll tell you guys right off about that because you know I love him, and I'm sure a lot of you have been asking about him, and I appreciate that. So hey guys, that's it for this vlog. I don't know when the next one's going to be, but tune in for the live streams. And I could use some Portland if anybody just has some, oh, hey, here's a $20 bill. Let me just send that to Robert. I'd love it because that'd buy me 2 bags of Portland and keep me busy. And until I do something else, it's Robert Earl at the Eco Ranch Sustainable Living Education Center. I'll be hard at work, and I will see you later.